Hello, everyone. This is famous Tremayne, and I'm doing something a lot different than what I normally do. You see, I have been having very vivid dreams, extremely vivid dreams, and I've decided to do something very personal and bring you as a listener into my dream before it disappears, it goes away. I can already feel it leaving me. And now I've decided whether I actually publicly do it or I just keep it for myself. I wanted to bring you into my dream world, explain to you what it is that I saw in my dream, and then try to figure out what the hell it meant. Why did I dream it? And what is it important? Is it important to me or is it just insignificant? And here we go. So I'll start with my mother. My mother, growing up, used to always say that whenever she dreamed about someone she cared about that died, or even, I guess, people she even didn't care about, but mostly she told us about the people she cared about that died. And she would say that they were visiting her in her dream. And for several months now, I have been having extremely vivid dreams about my mother. And I've been saying, my mother is visiting me. And, she died. And it's gotten so bad that I have been saging my house, frankincense, myrrh, all that stuff to try to be like, okay, I'm tired of these visitations. You can go back to the other side now. I'm good. Thank you for visiting. You can go now. And it actually works. It usually sort of resets my house where I'm not feeling like she's here. And I love my mother, and I want to see her when the time comes. Not necessarily now, because when my mother visits me in my dreams, she does not talk. That's how I know the difference between me just dreaming about my mother and her actually visiting me, which is how I was raised to believe that that's what this is. When my mother is just visiting, she's in my dream, she's very present, but I wake up and realize, oh, she wasn't talking. She was just there and she was just sort of watching me. And this is off topic of today's specific dream, which is July 10th. But about a week ago, I had a horrific dream about my mother. She was talking. That's why I believe this was just a dream. She was talking, and she wasn't just talking. And I don't want to go into it because I'm just going to start crying because it was so disturbing because we were arguing and we were arguing really, really bad. And I woke up so mad. And that's what made it so distressing is because our argument in my dream was so severe that I just woke up still feeling all of that anger and rage. And I was a good kid. I took a lot of shit. I took a lot of abuse, you know, and I just shut the fuck up about it. There's only a few times in my life where I actually stood up and was like, okay, I'm done. You're not gonna abuse me anymore. And the physical abuse, that was most of it was when I was much younger. But the emotional abuse was almost all my entire life, dealing with family. but I would always just freeze up. I would just throw a wall up and block all that out, you know. And that's what I don't want to get into that because that is a whole lot of baggage to unpack. I know I want you guys to understand, where I'm coming from, how I felt. So I'm just going to say it like this. When you're a kid, when you're a teenager, when you don't have any agency over your future because you have someone else in control of that. And my mother was a good mother, had a few issues, but overall, she was a good mother. And I told her that. I told her one day, I said, look, I forgive you for the times when your discipline was abusive. And I thank you for the time where your discipline was discipline. And she started crying. And I said, don't cry, because I'm not saying this to hurt you or bring up any of the old stuff up. I just wanted to take time to thank you for the times where you did discipline me in a way that was not abusive. And I love you. So that's why I don't want to get choked up now. I don't want you guys to think my mother was this horrible mother. She had some issues. I may discuss that at a later time, but she's a human, or she was, whatever. So, you know, I forgave her for all of that issues because I know that there were things in her childhood and her life that she just carried into, when she became a parent. And I understand it. I understand everything. I'm good. And I can tell you so many times where she was just a good parent, period. So that's why I still love my mother, but she got to get the fuck out my dreams. She got to go. She got to go visit me. My birthday's coming up, maybe a nice little visitation then, but then go see my brother, you know, go visit him for the rest of the year. Because I will say in this particular dream, July 10th, which means this, the dream of July 9th and 10th, I have places in my dream that are reoccurring. And in this dream, I dreamed that we split up, that my mother and my brother went to go live in a different house, and I got my own house. And I felt weird about it because it's not my house. Like, I own a house that, the one I'm sitting in right now, that, fingers crossed, by this Saturday, I will be making my final mortgage payment on this house, and it will be literally mine, except for, paying taxes every year. So I'm so happy about that. And I'll talk about how this house became a home in a different video. But I got a new home. And I think because me and my baby, we talked yesterday, and I had just casually mentioned that, we were talking about, this house about to be paid off. And I was like, even if we move, I still want to continue to own this property. I don't want to sell it. I don't want to rent it. I'll just use it as a business, which is technically what I'm doing now. And that I'll just come and go from here just from business. But, we get a new home that'll be like both of ours, which I really want my baby to feel like this is our home. We also talked about that yesterday, that, I really want you to feel like this isn't just my home because my name is on a deed. This is our home because that we created a feeling of home, of being together. So I think that's why I went to sleep thinking about a new home. And this home was, in a lot of ways, like, okay, when I was 19, the first relationship I was ever in, I was with somebody who was, I'll just say, wealthy, and brought an 8 bedroom home for the two of us to live in. And in my dream, the home that I dreamed was my new home was in that neighborhood of that 8 bedroom house, which is like actually like 5 minutes from where I live from now. And it was similar but different. And it was an older home, which is why I know this is a dream, because I've said time and again, the home I'm in now was built in 1920. The home that I want to live in next, I want brand new, because when you have an older home, you have, there's always something that needs to be fixed. There's always something that needs to be upgraded, pipes and roofs and, everything. So I wanted, whatever my next home is, if I even have a next home, I want a new one. I want central air. I want, everything fresh and new and not going to need maintenance in 5 years. So, so, so that's why I should have known this was a dream, because I loved the home in the dream, but what disturbed me was that it was still an older home. Like, my main bathroom in my real life home, I've been talking about taking a clawfoot tub out and putting it out on my deck and turn it into like a outdoor shower and having a walk-in shower in place of it. So when I saw that, it wasn't even a clawfoot tub. It was like a regular tub with a shower head that was like a clawfoot tub with a shower. And I was disappointed. I know I was. I, I just knew this house had a walk-in shower, but it didn't. Yeah. And in my dream, I said, I'll just deal with it. And I'm looking around, and it was a lot of old things in this home. Like, I had, got it in an auction or something, and a lot of the person who was here prior stuff was here or in the dream home. And so I was saying to myself, okay, we'll get rid of this, we'll repurpose that. And I was fixated on curtains because I'm not like some of my neighbors. Um, some of my neighbors, not the black ones, they don't have curtains. You can literally be just walking down the street and you can see through their entire home. And yeah, I don't like that. You don't need to know what I got. You don't need to know what's in the house. I'm not that person. So I was thinking about these sun blocker curtains like I have in my bathroom, and white, which is also the same color there in the bathroom. And I'm like, I had 3 huge bedroom windows, and I could see like the apartments across the street. And that's how I knew I was in the neighborhood that my first relationship, we had the 8 bedroom house, and across the street, like it was like all homes through most of the neighborhood, but directly across the street, somebody had turned like 3 homes into apartment buildings. And I didn't want the people across the street being able to look into my MF house. So I was thinking about these curtains. And then this is when the dream started to get disturbing, because I went downstairs and there was some man in my house with 2 people standing behind him. And I'm like, what are you doing in my house? And he said, well, I can't remember whatever name he said. was like the prior owner and they were friends and they gave him a key. And I said, I'm like, well, you need to give me that key, but you do need to get out of my house. And he was like, I'm not going anywhere because I have the key. And I looked over and it wasn't my baby. It was my ex, the one that brought the 8-bedroom house for us to live in, who was saying, we're not changing the locks. Like, what do you mean we ain't changing the locks? Oh, I'm changing the locks. I'm like, do you know how to change the locks? This lock's getting changed. And I was getting heated and I was ready to F everybody up. I'm ready to fight. Okay. And then I closed the door on those people. I locked it. Not they had the key, so wasn't doing them. But I locked the door. My ex disappeared. And it was just me again. And then when I turned, I was in my mother's home, this new home that she had just got in with my brother. And this is this is gonna sound crazy. Because like I said, I have a long history. If you knew my history, you'd understand. But my mother was in this house not talking. And my brother, I did talk to because they were in a bedroom and I recognized that they had my exercise bike was in there. My brother was riding it and it was making noise and it was annoying me. And I had said something to him. I can't remember what I said to him, but he responded. So, like I said, according to my mother, dead people, they come into the dreams. They really don't talk to you. They just want to be near you or with you, or whatever. People that are alive, they're going to talk to you. My brother is alive, you know. So he did talk to me. But in my mind, I kept saying to myself, I'm going to keep it a secret that I have a new house because they ain't moving in. Oh man, if you knew my past history, you know how funny that was. So I'm like, I ain't telling them I got a new place to live and it's big enough to fit all of us. You know, let them be happy where they're at. And I feel like there's an important part of the dream that's already left me because I remember I had said something to my mother. My brother had responded for her, and it led to the next part of the dream, which was the car. Once again, I had left where my mother and brother were, and I was now in a situation where I brought a brand new, really nice vehicle. And it was like, I don't really know cars, but it was a black SUV. Like now I have like a gray SUV. And it's a, I can't remember what the color of my SUV is called because it's like metallic green or metallic gray. It's some weird color that when the light hits it, it kind of looks different colors. But this new one was black. And the prior earlier yesterday, I went to the supermarket and I was in my car. And I guess I was thinking about, my baby said, I'm gonna get you a new car because the car I have now, my baby got me. And my baby in real life said, I got a new car. So I'm gonna get you a new car. So, but after I pay your house off. So, well, house about to be paid off, car time. But but um but I'm not gonna I'm gonna wait. The car is paid off. I don't have my insurance is now gone down to like $90 a month. So I'm good for now. But I'm just telling you just the situations that led to this part of the dream where I was thinking about yesterday about my baby don't make promises that's not kept. So I know that I'll be getting a new car soon. And then I saw this guy in this ridiculous, huge truck. I think it was like a Dodge Ram, something like that. And he was directly across from me, but that MFer was like shiny, sparkling, looking good. And I don't want a vehicle that big. It's too big and is a gas guzzler. No, thank you. I have well, it doesn't matter what vehicle I have now, but I also want a new vehicle that does not require premium gas. I'm so jealous of you guys who have nice cars that don't have to do premium. I have to do premium, whether I like it or not. And and I hope my next car I get to do regular like other folks do, and I have to pay them premium prices. So I definitely don't want a gas guzzler. So I say that to say on my mind was cars, uh, nice cars, not wanting a gas guzzler. And, I'll tell the story one day of how one of my so called friends, when I got the car that I got now, he was so fucking mad. I mean, he had steam coming out of his ears because he didn't think I should have the brand of car that I have, uh, or the type of car that I have, because he was jealous. And I couldn't understand in that moment how someone who's supposed to be my friend is upset because I got a new car. And I know that his car was crappy, that it was in the shop every week. There was something going wrong with it. But that was his situation. That wasn't my situation, So why are you angry that instead of happy for me? Because when he got a new car, I was happy for him. And it was a luxury vehicle, something he was mad at me for having. So, anyway, like I said, that's a conversation for another day. But in this dream, there were people just like him that were not happy that I had a new vehicle. And that's one of the neighbor who had came into my dream home with the key was one of the people that was upset that I had a new vehicle in the neighborhood, and I had to keep looking out the window making sure that my shit was still there and that nobody was doing anything to it. Like, now I have the cameras everywhere. Like, my phone is constantly going off because somebody walked by and set the camera off. So just saying. So that's something that is in my head. And so that was going on, what was going on in my dream, because I'm trying to decipher my dreams as I go. But I was worried about the car, but I remember I liked it. It was new. It was fresh. It was just a nice SUV, a little bit bigger than the one I have now, but not huge. And I was just enjoying life. I was happy, but still all around me were haters, people that were not happy for me because I had something they didn't. And that's just real life shit, so like I said, a lot of my dream has faded away from me. I think that when I do these dream videos, I will, when I wake up, I'll try to, while it's still fresh in my mind, maybe jump on a mic and talk about it. But I think this is where I'll end because I don't know how long this video is right now, but I've talked about a lot of subjects. I've tried to translate the dream as I talked about parts of it. The parts I can't remember, that's just in the ether somewhere. And I will tell you this much. I will, when I stop this, hit stop on this recording, I will, one, go to the bathroom, regular bathroom. But then number two, frankincense, myrrh, and sage will be put into the air so I could have sweet dreams tonight. And hopefully I had some, hopefully you guys had sweet dreams. And tell me in the comment section, maybe something about a dream you had. And I chose this picture that as my thumbnail because the dreams I have had a lot to do about a house. So this was a nice little picture with a house in it that looked dreamlike. But in the comment section, please let me know some of your dreams or some of your dream theories, and I'll see you in the next video.